Japa-da, Nigerians abroad return home amid dashed expectations. Welcome to Sinach Media. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Also put on your notification button to get notification of our updates. An increasing number of Nigerians who previously migrated in pursuit of better opportunities have started returning home, citing unmet expectations and depression in their host countries. The development is a reversal of the popular Japa trend, which has seen millions of Nigerian youths migrate to Europe, America, and Asia in search of better living conditions and job opportunities. In 2023, the International Organization for Migration reported that approximately 260,000 Nigerians approached them for assistance to migrate, with the United Kingdom being the primary destination of 80% of them. According to the Nigerian Immigration Service, over 3.6 million Nigerians migrated to other countries within 2 years. The NIS Migration Information Data Analysis System showed that about 2,115,139 persons emigrated from Nigeria in 2022, while 1,574,357 left the country from January to September 31st, 2023, making it a total of 3,679,496 that had left Nigeria within 2 years. But now, some of these Nigerians are returning home to rebuild their lives. Some of the returnees who spoke to Saturday Punch said life abroad was not as easy as it seemed, and many of the challenges they faced were hidden behind the glamorous images often shown to others. A 30-year-old nurse who claimed to have spent 2 years in the United States, Judith Okoli, said after moving abroad in 2017 for career advancement, the reality of life in the US was far from her expectations. Okoli, who spoke to one of our correspondents, said despite earning a steady income, the high cost of living, isolation, and racism left her feeling unfulfilled. According to her, she endured a lonely life. Okoli recalled facing discrimination in her professional life and a persistent sense of exclusion that constantly reminded her that she was not part of the system. You just never feel welcomed, whereas in Nigeria, you feel at home, she added. Despite earning a decent income, she explained that the high cost of living in the US left little to show for it. My rent alone was over $3,000 monthly. By the time you pay for bills, car notes, insurance, and taxes, you begin to wonder, what is the point? Driven by a desire to reconnect with her roots, Okoli decided to return to Nigeria in 2019. Her transition was not seamless. Early business ventures in beauty and marketing failed, but she eventually found passion in farming. She said, farming became something I could grow and develop. 5 years later, I now have a business I can watch over and expand. My side hustle is now my main hustle. She urged Nigerians abroad to reconsider making foreign countries their permanent homes. It should be a temporary place to get what you need and come back to do what you truly want, she emphasized. Many have been abroad for 10 years and cannot afford a flight home. Okoli noted that with proper planning, a consistent income stream, and a commitment to reinvest at home, returning to Nigeria could bring fulfillment, reconnection with family, and a sense of peace that money can't buy. I planned, I failed, I went back, I re strategized, she said, but now I'm back for good, and this time I'm doing it right. In a TikTok video, Kenny Igo, who recently returned to Nigeria from the United States, said her decision to move back was driven by unhappiness and mental health struggles. Kenny, a mother of two, emphasized that her decision was not impulsive but a gradual realization that she needed a change for her well-being. She said, "The reason is because I was not happy. I was troubled. I didn't have peace. I was anxious. Every little thing got me anxious. And I realized I was sliding into a subtle depression. So I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore." It wasn't a spontaneous decision. It was gradual. But at this point, I would say yes, my mind is fully made up. So am I nervous? No, not anymore. I used to be before I thought of what to do in Nigeria. Because going to Nigeria, you have to be sure is the truth. You have to know what you want to go and do. I've spoken to people. I have told them about wanting to go. And you realize that a lot of people are in your shoes. But the only thing that is stopping them is fear. And for real, I was listening to somebody and he said, the barrier between you and your success is fear. Another returning, Dr. Julius Oni, an associate professor of orthopedic surgery, said he quit his job at Johns Hopkins University in the United States and moved back to Nigeria with his family. Oni, in a video on TikTok, disclosed that he returned to Nigeria after spending 25 years in the US to set up a musculoskeletal care facility. He said 6 weeks ago, I relocated from the US to Nigeria. I took a leave of absence from my job at Johns Hopkins, sold my house, sold cars, packed my bags alongside my lovely wife and beautiful children, and moved after 25 years of living in the USA. I know at this point, some of you may call me delusional or even crazy, but I'm neither. I'm just a man full of conviction. I happen to believe that Nigerian patients deserve great care too. As part of my mission, I've started Doc Medical Nigeria, which offers high-quality musculoskeletal care to the population. Part of my effort is to provide access to care so that people do not have to travel to access high-quality orthopedic surgery care. My village people did not force my return. That one is from another returnee. Summer Ako revealed the criticism she faced after making her decision to return to Nigeria. When I shared my Japa-da story, some people said my village people had dragged me back to Nigeria. There was nothing people didn't say, she recalled. Aku expressed frustration over being questioned about her return to the land of her ancestors. She noted that many Nigerians, especially those who had never lived abroad, often fail to understand such decisions, adding that explaining to them was a waste of time. Now running a short-let Airbnb business in Nigeria, Aku shared how her guests were often Nigerians returning to bury their loved ones. It saddens me that many never saw their parents alive, but come back just to bury them. They always express deep regret. Many people don't realize this life is not a rehearsal. This is it. There is no second chance to do most things right, Aku said. Despite the challenges in Nigeria, she emphasized the irreplaceable value of home. It's unfortunate the problems we have in Nigeria, but truth be told, there's no place like home. Nowhere else allows you to be part of family weddings, birthdays, naming ceremonies, and graduations. Also speaking, a returnee who spoke on condition of anonymity said he recently returned from the United Kingdom after spending 4 years abroad. He said after completing his studies, he wanted to pursue his PhD. But combining that with taking care of my children became overwhelming. That was when I began to seriously consider coming back home to Nigeria, he added. For him, the move abroad was meant to be a temporary step towards financial empowerment and entrepreneurship in Nigeria. He said since returning home 3 weeks ago, he had joined his brother in managing a real estate business they had previously co-run while in the UK. The situation in Nigeria is not too bad. I already had a connection to a business here. Since coming back, I've been settling in quite well. He attributed the reasons many Nigerians were returning to cultural disconnection, harsh working conditions, emotional stress abroad, and inability to combine work with childcare. There are people who are coming back for some other reasons, such as the inability to cope with life over there. Some are not so open to change in culture, food, lifestyle, and the weather. The kind of luxury that we enjoy in Nigeria is not over there. Immigration comes with a lot of stress. It comes with its problems. Some people do not have adequate information about life out there. They believe it is all rosy, but unfortunately, it is not. It's a lot of stress. Immigrants do a lot of odd jobs to pay bills, and this takes a toll on their mental health, he said. Another returnee, who identified herself as Ifeoma on TikTok, said she relocated from Canada back to Nigeria with her family due to the difficulty of securing a job and finding adequate child care support after the birth of her second child. She said, I was not working and it was very frustrating. I was basically relying on the money from child care and other benefits we could get to survive. My husband worked, but we had to source money from Nigeria to pay most of our bills. You can imagine how crazy that was, and it was hectic. Recently, a Nigerian lady, Jenny Jones, shared her decision to relocate to Nigeria after living and working in the US for some time. Having worked in the US for several years, Jones cited burnout and lack of fulfillment as key reasons for her relocation. I'm going to Nigeria because I feel I'm burnt out in the US and I need a break, she said, noting that she plans to launch a clothing line in Lagos. For her, the move represents a chance to pursue entrepreneurship and regain control over her mental health. No amount of therapy or supplements can fix the constant mental battle if you are living in a place where you do not feel fulfilled. Do you see the glow up on my face just talking about the fact that I am moving to Nigeria? She explained. The Dowu family, who lived in the US for 14 years before returning to Nigeria in 2024, echoed similar sentiments in a video shared on their YouTube channel 2 months ago. Despite holding US citizenship, they said rising crime rates, cultural disconnects, and racism led them to leave. America is not the way it used to be, they said. We wanted our kids to grow up with morals and without the fear of gun violence. The crime rate in America is skyrocketing. Racism is there as well, especially against the blacks. That is why we returned to Nigeria. Commenting on why some Nigerians were returning home from abroad, an immigration lawyer, Kefas Caleb, said several factors could be responsible for the development, citing economic, social, and other reasons. Another immigration lawyer, Innocent Ekpe, noted that President Donald Trump's actions might have influenced those returning from the US. He said, for instance, what President Trump has been doing could be a factor because he has been sending undocumented immigrants back home, even those that got the document from the Biden administration. The spokesperson for the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abdulrahman Balogu, said returnees were coming back for reasons related to economics, emotions, and security. My country people, this one na the Japa-da story. They just japa They don dey Japa-da. How una see am? E no easy o. Na who no go no know. Make una tell us una comment for the comment section.